Hi guys, welcome to my affordable watch collection. My name is Aviv, and today we're taking a look at the Cadisen C8212M, an affordable mechanical chronograph that takes two expensive chronograph designs and meshes them up into one watch. Is it Cadisen's best watch yet? Well, in this video we are going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm going to let you decide. For the sake of full disclosure, this watch was sent to me for free for review, and I don't have to send it back. With that said, the company had nothing to do with the content of this video, and you can expect to hear my own honest opinion of this watch. Two colorways are available for your consideration besides this Panda one, that is based off the limited edition Breitling Top Time Deus, a blue reversed Panda, and a dark blue one with a completely different dial, homaging a Patek Phillipe. It is currently on sale for $147 and 83 cents. For that money you can expect to get Cadisen's standard packaging, a branded cardboard box with all of this inside. Here are the measurements. The width of the case is 40 mm, its thickness is 13 mm including the protruding crystal, the distance between the lugs is 20 mm, lug tip to lug tip is 47 mm, and the watch weighs 74 grams. Cadisen claims 10 atmospheres of water resistance, which sounds impressive, but we'll circle back to that later on. The main portion of the dial is sort of an eggshell color. There's a white tachymeter design printed on a mostly black background around its edge, with cool touches of orange and yellow on its right hand side. After that we have a black detailed minute track, and a set of applied, highly polished and lume-filled baton indices marking all hours except for the 3 and 9. The black double-register chronograph subdials take their place. The subdial at the 3 o'clock position is a 30 minutes counter for the chronograph, and the one at the 9 o'clock position has the watch's running seconds hand. Each subdial is made up of two parts, an outer ring with a minute or seconds track corresponding to each subdial's function, and an inner section with a concentric pattern giving off a distinct sunburst effect, and some more printings. Cadisen's logo is printed below the 12 o'clock baton, and mechanical chronograph is printed above the 6. The hands are very cool. The hour and minute hands are pencil shaped and are painted in a pale orange color. Both sport lume on their centers. The center chrono hand is done in a darker shade of orange and has a rectangle on its counterbalance. The small subdial hands are lens-shaped, pale orange on the running seconds, and the darker orange on the chronograph minute counter. C3 Superluminova was used to illuminate the hands and markers in the dark, and while you shouldn't expect any miracles from a budget chronograph, it is still pretty good for this type of watch. A very nice box-domed sapphire crystal covers the dial, which besides being scratch resistant, I think helps this watch achieve that vintage look and feel. It also has some anti-reflective coating applied to its underside, which is going to help with readability in well-lit environments. The case is where the design of the C8212M differs from the Breitling it homages the most, though it isn't exactly an original design. There was a hint to that in the beginning of the video, when I showed you the different variations Cadisen offer with this watch. One of them had a Patek Phillipe style dial, specifically a Patek Phillipe reference 5470P-001 style dial. When you look at that watch, it's clear that the shape of this Cadisen's case is heavily inspired by it. At first, I thought that might result in a weird mishmash, but it actually turned out to be quite a brilliant match. It is quite intricate for a sub $200 watch, but I have to say that I am positively surprised by how well it is executed. It is made of 316L stainless steel, and it is treated to a polished finish on most of its surfaces, with the exception being the concave sides of the case, which have a really nice bead blasted finish. I can only imagine it's not easy doing that in such a confined space, and Cadisen really did it very well. A couple more details worth noting are the concave shape of the bezel, and the faux rivets at the tips of the lugs. The crown at the 3 o'clock position is a push-pull type of crown, gnarled and signed with the brand's logo. Now, the way it sits is a bit weird. If you look at it from the side, it almost looks as if it floats above the indent of the sides of the case, which makes me doubt the claimed 10 atmospheres of water resistance. Add to that a case back held with 4 screws, and yeah, I wouldn't take this watch swimming. 2 lozenge-shaped pushers are found at the 2 and 4 o'clock positions. The top one engages the chronograph and starts and stops the sweeping of the main chronograph hand, and the bottom one resets it back into position with a snap. The operation of the top pusher is a bit disappointing. It is more squishy than tactile as I'd want it to be, with what I can only describe as a ghost position or a step where you push the pusher and nothing happens. You need to press it hard to engage the chronograph. The case back features a mineral crystal exhibition window, the only reasonable choice on a watch with a movement this beautiful. Besides that gorgeous view, it is also done very nicely, with a concave-shaped stainless steel ring very much like the bezel on the front of the watch, and the watch's information cut into a second ring found below the glass around the movement. You probably recognize this beautiful movement. This is the iconic Seagull ST19. This is a mechanical column wheel chronograph, famously based off the Swiss Venus caliber 175, in its upgraded version that includes a swan neck regulator. This is that curved part you see here. It is used to fine-tuning the accuracy of the movement and then maintaining it. The ST19 has a few different versions, and I'm not really sure as to which one is actually in this watch. So it sports anywhere between 19 to 23 joules, and it beats at 21,600 beats per hour. It can only be wound by hand, and it doesn't feature hacking ability. Stated accuracy is -10 to +40 seconds per day, with roughly 42 hours of power reserve. The black strap this watch comes on is marked as genuine leather, though I have to say that at least the top part smells suspiciously synthetic. It is quite stiff fresh out the box, but it does look nice with the orange stitchings matching the watch. It features quick-release spring bars, matching keepers, and a polished and signed stainless steel buckle that feels robust. Let's put it on my 7-inch wrist and see how it wears. Looks good, doesn't it? I really like the look of the dial and the size of the case, and thanks to the gentle curve of the lugs, it conforms nicely to my wrist. The strap is stiff and uncomfortable at this point and does need some breaking in, but it really is a nice match to the watch. Legibility is okay, though not the best. You don't get much contrast between the dial and the hands. I have no issue reading the time, and the anti-reflective coating really helps, but someone with tired eyes might find it a bit of a struggle. The first thing I did when I first got this watch was to put it on this perforated racing-style leather strap. I think it really suits the vibe of the watch and really takes it up a notch. Here is another option from Strapsco that I think works pretty well and makes the watch much more comfortable to wear. We've touched on a lot of things here, so let's sum it up by taking a look at the pros and cons. We'll do the cons first, keeping in mind that this is a 150-ish bucks mechanical chronograph. The main thing, the thing that I'm most concerned about, is the integration of the crown and that gap between the crown and the case. The way it sits makes it a bit hard to grip when you want to pop the crown out to set time, and you are going to have to use your fingernail to pry it out. That's a small inconvenience, but the bigger issue is how it affects the water resistance. Now, I might be wrong about this, and perhaps Cadisen did make sure it is sealed properly, but like I said, I wouldn't take it swimming with me. But you know what? I don't think anyone would take this specific watch swimming anyway. Besides that, there's that squishy operation of the 2 o'clock chronograph pusher. Again, a small inconvenience. The strap is nice and feels like good quality, but I'm not sure how much of it is actually genuine leather. My guess is that only the bottom layer is, but again, I could be wrong about that too, so don't quote me on this one. Now for the pros. I've looked at quite a few Cadisen watches in the past few years, and I've got to say, this has to be the nicest one so far. It might not be perfect, but it really is a good looking watch. And besides those two concerns, it is well made. it is almost hard to believe that it can be had for well under 200 bucks. I did not expect to like this watch as much as I do. I thought that Cadisen's deviation from the original design would act against them. But after seeing it in person and wearing it for a while, I actually appreciate those design choices. Basically every detail is different from the original watch, but the general idea is still conveyed very well. It is clearly a homage to that watch, though different enough to not be considered a one-to-one copy. For your money you get a beautifully finished stainless steel case, a beautiful AR-coated sapphire crystal, a nicely done dial with nice and colorful hands, and a beautiful ST19 mechanical chronograph movement that you can spend hours looking at. And that's the upgraded version with the swan neck regulator. For the price, I give this watch a solid 8 out of 10. What do you guys think? Let me know by dropping a comment below. As always, you'll find the links to the watch in the description of this video. Plus, I'll leave the links to the straps I've used in this video if you want to check them out. Some of these links are going to be affiliate links that will not cost you anything extra, but will help the channel with a small commission. So thanks in advance if you do decide to use them. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my affordable watch collection, and hit the notification bell for more affordable watches related content. You can also follow me on Instagram and get to know me and my collection a little bit better, get all the news about the channel, and connect with me on a more personal level. If you've enjoyed this video, you might enjoy one of these too as well. I want to thank Cadisen for sending this watch in for review, and to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.